Well, the Basic Education Department says the second source of the matric exams leak was in fact the government printing works. Earlier this month, an employee at the private printing company in Gauteng was arrested for allegedly leaking matric maths paper 2. It comes after the exam papers were leaked. Motshekga has addressed the state of readiness of schools next year amid the COVID-19 pandemic. For more on this, I'm joined now by the educational psychologist, Professor Kobus Marie. He's from the Faculty of Education at the University of Pretoria. Professor, good afternoon to you. I mean, after everything that's happened this year for the class of 2020, to have an exam leak at the end of it, and then a court case, and then a decision not to continue. Now they might have this hanging over them. I mean, this has been a very traumatic time.
I think traumatic is the right word. People have really had to display exceptional resilience. And you know what? Our learners and the parents and the teachers have truly surprised me, amazed me. I must congratulate them. They've shown exceptional resilience, major challenges, but let's look at this as a challenge only, one challenge. We face so many challenges successfully. It's just one more.
So, I mean, it's one more. The problem with this, of course, is that it might, in a way, last forever. I mean, we don't know the extent of the leak. We don't know how Umulusi is going to feel about it and whether it'll declare that these exams have integrity. That's got to lead to incredible anxiety.
Right, I agree with you, but I want to differ very slightly. Let's leave what Umulusi decides to do in their hands. Let's control the controllable. The emphasis should now be on being there for the learners supporting each other. And no, it's really not the end of the world. Whatever happens, I think the DBE has shown conclusively that it truly has the best interests of all the learners and the teachers and everybody at heart. So from what I've learned and what I've heard this afternoon and prior to that, Minister Motshekga is going out of her way, pulling out all the stops to make sure that there will be another opportunity. And there will be many more opportunities. If the worst happens and Umulusi decides to pronounce negatively on things, it's just another stumbling block. It's bad. It certainly is not ideal, but let's deal with things as they happen, like the COVID pandemic. It serves no purpose to wonder why this has happened, etc. It's part of the healing process, the mourning process, to think about these things, but then to move on. Come this time next year, those that have been disadvantaged by what happened there will in all likelihood be where they wanted to be. And 1 year more or 1 year less is not going to make that much of a difference. So in the extreme likelihood of people having to redo a year or so, etc., whatever we do, let's use the word fail ever again. Yes, some people will not achieve up to their potential. That's a given. But there's always another chance. You and I know I've been a psychologist for 35 years. And there's always another day. The sun will rise tomorrow. There will be another opportunity. 2 years down the line, all these grade 12s might very well not even remember what happened to them. So I'm very upbeat about the way the DBE is handling this now.
It's interesting. I mean, one of the things that I think we might be seeing in some communities is that parents might be saying to their children, their children who've just finished matric, when I was your age, I knew what I was going to do. I'd already applied for this. I'd already applied for that. I knew I was looking at a trainee job or whatever. The world has shifted so much here and in so many other countries. Young people, while we used to think we're getting more and more opportunities for education, I think they are, but there seem to be fewer and fewer opportunities for actual jobs. In a way, I wonder if it might actually be tougher to be a young person leaving school now than it was, say, 20 years ago.
I don't think so. I have to smile. You know what? My parents said that much. Their parents said that much. Guess what? 30 years down the line, the children of the current generation will say the very same thing. So if you look at history, humankind has always been capable of converting major challenges into hope, into opportunities. There is not the slightest doubt in my mind that it will be a similar case this year. We should never, ever underestimate the resilience, the creativity, the sense of innovation of people. Never. I bet you it's just part of a recurring cycle of life. So yes, again, I'm not underestimating the extent of the challenge, but it's a challenge. And let's pull out all the stops to facilitate, enable the support structures that are there. Talk to somebody, establish a support group. Parents should be upbeat and positive. Refer to a psychologist, a pastor, somebody. There's always somebody there. Across the country, I've had comments such as, I've given up on life. It takes a week or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, but you will be able to restore a person's sense of meaning, purpose, and hope in life. But you are aware of that center in the brain referred to as the reticular activating system. If we want to see negative things, guess what we will see? If we want to focus on positive things, that's what we're going to see. So I'm positive. I will die a positive person one day. It's not possible for me to feel negative. I'm there to help people. My colleagues are there. We have access to the best people, psychologists, counseling teachers in the world. Let's utilize these support structures.
Professor, for a lot of matrics now, it's actually quite a long wait. I mean, towards the end of February for when they get the results. Now, normally, they would have finished their exams at the beginning of December and get them in that slightly uncomfortable period between Christmas and New Year. How do you get through the anxiety of the wait?
Like I said, talk with somebody and now activate a support structure. I'm also going to ask people to start reading. Get yourself a good book and get that wonderful experience of reading. Start preparing yourself, doing job analysis. Find out more about the job that you have in mind. You know, if a person does job analysis on 5 careers, fields of study, that will take an inordinate amount of time. So do these things. Share ideas with people, even if you have to pay a stipend, etc. Keep yourself busy, active. You know what? Some people might even wish to write their life stories at this stage. To tell people to start a diary, write down how they feel, what they're experiencing. And more than anything, reach out to somebody. We're all in need. We're all vulnerable. We're all in transition. The whole world is in transition and vulnerable. So reach out to an orphanage, to people in an informal settlement, people that are in need. In helping them, learners will also be helping themselves. And guess what? They will feel so much better. It will help them grow. It will help them develop. Again, let's send out a positive message. Start a support group where the need is at its greatest. You'll always find somebody whose need is much greater than yours.
Professor Kobus Marie, I really appreciate the time. Thank you. Educational psychologist in the Faculty of Education at the University of Pretoria. Well, more conversations about the next school year coming up. Stay with us.